But when I think of you, I do associate you with six string. When did you first get into that? Because obviously you've come up through when there wasn't any six strings,
When I started, there was no such thing as a 5-string bass.
Yeah.
And also, I tuned down a whole step. And that came from...
Where did that come from?
And a lot of people, because a lot of cats do it, but they don't realize where it came from.
Yeah.
It came from the bass. You only had 4 strings, it only went to E. And what really inspired me to do it was Robert Wilson on the Gap Band song Yearning.
Yeah.
He's doing this. He had his bass tuned down to a low B.
Yeah.
And in gospel, a lot of songs are in E flat, A flat, a lot of flat keys.
Yeah.
And it just used to piss me off to come up here to play E flat.
And it just doesn't have that.
Yeah, and it's just
the thumb.
Yeah, the booty just went away.
Yeah.
And Joel Smith, my good friend, he tuned down to E flat. And so I wanted to be lower than Joel, so I tuned down to D. And that's where it came from. So I started.
I get asked this question so many. Why do gospel play? Why are they tuning down?
But
it's you guys.
But I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people do it, man. And once they hear it and hear how it just sits, like there's just a different kind of warmth when a bass is tuned down.
Yeah, different vibe to the notes.
I'll never forget the first time. Well, I got my first 5-string in '85. It was a Yamaha BB 5000.
Yeah.
Thing. The neck was like this narrow.
Yeah.
But and I remember when I got that bass, I tried to tune back up, but I didn't realize that because I have perfect pitch. My ears had gotten used to my E string being a D.
Okay,
and so I was playing with the Winans.
Was it just like completely messy up?
It was already messing me up because I hadn't got used to the B string, the new string here.
Yeah.
So I would think I was hitting the E string and I'd be playing. What I did was I didn't practice. I was on tour, so I just went right out on tour and I was playing with the Winans. And I remember them turning around looking at me. What the
What's he doing?
Because I was mutilating the songs, man. But it took me probably about a month to get comfortable, and then I realized that I was used to tuning down, so I just tuned back down, and I never changed from that. And
so you're completely used to all the notes being a tone
like, this
down.
is your F sharp, but it's my E. If I hit this note and don't hear E, like it, and sometimes even when I go sit in and play somebody else's bass, I have to tune it down before I play it.
Yeah, because it'll just
I'm totally.
I mean, brain gymnastics for you trying to play a regular kind
play
of
a song
bass.
if the bass is tuned standard. So
it was all from playing a 4-string, wanting those deeper notes, getting used to that tone and the vibe, and then the 5 strings came along.
And I think that was probably the beginning of me developing my sound, because I started being known for my sound.
Yeah.
And I think people ask me that every time I play, my playing to me is like doing a record. Because I've done a million records, and when I hear my bass when I'm playing with a band, I want it to sound like a record. And a lot of guys make this mistake. Like you go in the music store, you sit there in front of an amp and you play it, but then you get it home and you don't like it when you're playing because you're not doing it in an actual game time environment. And that's why it's taken me a long time, but I know what I want to hear. I know the frequencies. Like my favorite treble frequency is 6K.
Okay,
I put 6K in and I'm good. My bass frequency is 100. And then I like to be able to vary my mid range.
You know exactly what gives you the sound that you're looking for.
I like to scoop 1 to 3K. And people, I've heard a lot of criticism about it, but when you listen to all these records I've done and listen now, my bass sounds on these records, it's like it's sitting where it's supposed to sit.
That's your signature sound. When I think about it, about that little mid scoop, and then all the people that have, all the players that have come after you, all have that. And every time I hear that sound, I'm like, they've heard you and they're trying to emulate that sound.